Okay, here we are again. Let me just... that. And this. There we go. Okay. That should be everything. We should be good to go. Let the record show. I did attempt to make I made every attempt to be on time today. I was making marinara sauce. I made it in the crock pot while we went shopping. I threw it in the crock pot so that it would be cooking while we were gone. And it cooked up real nice in the crock pot, and it was done by like 10 after 6. So I had dinner ready by 10 after 6. I could have eaten it at any point in time. I got all of my round the house cleaning stuff done by before that was done. So I'm done with all the chore stuff. I'm done with all the shopping that we need to do for groceries. Everything's done by 10 after 6. I decided, in my infinite wisdom, that it would be a great idea to sit on the couch, wait for the sauce to cool off for about 20 minutes at 6:10. And then after that, I would throw in the rest of my dinner, the pork and stuff that I was eating. Big mistake, obviously, because I woke up like 1 minute before you saw me post the repost the finale stream thing, like on YouTube, schedule it. I woke up like a minute before that out of a dead sleep, like a shot, because my body was like, yeah, you know what, it would probably be more helpful for me to like sleep again today rather than play X6. Let's just never do that again. I can't say I blame it, though, honestly. I feel like I'd make the same choice if it wasn't for the fact that I am belligerently vehement. That's a really silly combination of words. About finishing this damn game. Marie's here. Hello, Marie. How you doing? Welcome back. Finished that game just in time. Hope you recovered well enough. Yeah, for the most part. I had to make an executive decision yesterday because I got home from training, and it was a lot of, like, the mingling stuff that you have to do, because it was, like, I had to meet with the professor that I'm going to be tutoring for, and we had to, like, kind of hash out how we wanted to do, like, the lessons, and how we wanted to do the breaks in the lessons, because it's, like, 3 hours, and, I mean, nobody wants to sit still listening to somebody talk for 3 hours, and had to figure out how I'm going to do the study sessions that happen in the afternoon, and there was a whole bunch of, like, that like social requirement of me, and I just I thought about it. I said, I don't know if I have the social battery. I would probably have been really quiet if we had played yesterday, but on top of that, I'm not sure if I would have just been dead on my feet while playing the video game, and it definitely would not have worked out. I said, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'm just going to rest today. And it was a good thing that I did, too, because I posted I'm going to cancel the stream, that announcement yesterday, and I deleted the thing. I turned my computer off after posting the announcement. Within 3 minutes of that, again, I sat on my couch, I put my feet up, and I was out like stone sleep. Slept like a rock for like 2 hours after that. So evidently I needed something, and it was not more Mega Man X6 yesterday, so. Try and just not feel like dirt emotionally. Should start exercising again, but starting to think something is actually keeping you from wanting to. Well, see, and that's the thing with exercise, though, is that your body, once you stop doing it routinely, your body has a tendency to resist wanting to do it again. So you're probably right. There is physiologically, your body is probably tending towards, we don't have to do that, So I don't know if it's necessarily anything else. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I'm not like, your doctor or something. But like physiologically, there is a precedent for that. It's your body. Once it stops exercising, it's harder for it to start again. So have a god-awful social battery so you relate. Do you have 5,000 souls when we left off earlier? So I had, I'm trying to think how much I had when you were here. Because you asked me if I was going to go up to 5K. I said, I'm not sure. It depends on where I end at. And when we got done with 8 Mavericks and the Hymax fight, I said, okay, we're at like 3,400. I'm just going to get to 5,000. So I got to like 4,900 from fighting Dynamo a couple of times. And then I was like, okay, let's just go to Central Museum. And then we got to 5,000 exactly. So that is why we are at where we are at now, and also why I can now equip 3 parts and a limited part to enter into the secret lab. And trust me when I tell you, if you thought this game had some bullshit to throw at us before, you ain't seen nothing yet. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Mega Man X6 Extreme Mode with Unarmored X Stream Edition. This will be the final stream because, quite honestly, if I don't beat this game in 3 hours, I'm going to throw it in the bin. No, we should beat it in 3 hours. Like, it's 4 stages. I know what I need to do. There is some crazy platforming that we need to do in order to actually beat this. But I know what I need to do, so I should be up to the task. And we have all the parts that we need, starting with the jumper part. Because if we don't equip the jumper part for the first secret lab stage, we don't beat the first secret lab stage. There is a jump that is literally impossible for X to make, even with the ice burst from Blizzard Wolfang, unless you have the jumper part equipped. Or you have an air dash of some kind, like the Blade Armor air dash, which lets you go straight up in the air. Or a double jump, because this game was made for Zero. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Zero is the expected character that they want you to play. X is not. So, yeah, not crazy. About to say, throw it in the bin. Thought you would have done that earlier, because what is this game? Yeah, I know. I've committed to, this is the finale stream at this point, so like if we don't beat it, I would feel pretty bad about being like, yeah, you know, let's just toss it. And honestly, like I said, I feel good about what we need to do today. I will probably feel less good the further we go, because I don't know, like, I don't want to say I'm in a mood today. I think it was literally just my body bracing for the fact that I have to beat this. Well, I don't have to do anything, but my body bracing for the fact that I have to approach this again one more time before I move on to my next project. Because I did figure out what I want my next project to be, and I'm looking forward to it, actually. I think it'll be fun. But we have to get through this first, so... Well, it turns out it was right under our noses the whole time, just in the wreckage of the space colony. Who knew? Could have ended this a lot earlier if we figured that out. Well, maybe not, because this place sucks, so... Hence why I never beat the game unarmored or without Zero. Didn't find Jumper as a kid. Yeah, it is kind of tucked into a very difficult-to-get-to corner of the map, to be fair. So I do not blame you in the slightest. Oh good, Gates jamming our signals again, because even though we're the premier Maverick hunting force on the entire planet, one random mad scientist can just decide, I'm just going to jam all your signals, and there's nothing we can do about it. I love that for me. I mean, I guess it means Alia won't be calling me the whole time going, can you hear me, X? Wait, that's a different game. Yeah, so she won't be calling us once we get down into the hole. Too much radio interference. I don't think you're going to get through to her, buddy. Damn, I only went down like 20 feet. Anyway. Thankfully, the jump that I told you about that you can't do without the jumper part is this jump right here. There's a collection of several jumps, actually, you can't do without jumper, and this is the first of them. Get out of here. Because you'll hit your face on those spikes and die if you try to make that jump without the jumper part. But you gotta be a little careful because the spikes have some spicy hitboxes. As you can very plainly see, I wasn't anywhere near those things, and they still ripped me a new one, so that's fun. Also, if you touch your foot on it, if you stub your toe on it, you also die, so that's also fun. Just got started and we're already doing this, huh? Well, that's okay. Might as well get the rust out of the way early, I guess. This is too far away, but that's fine. Worked out okay. Yeah, so see how I went too early there? Like, I started moving left too early. You have to clear the jutting out of the spike's hitbox before you start moving forward, or it will just kill you. So, because hitboxes are stupid in this game. So, like, that's what you have to do right there, so... See? Just like that. So basically, like, delay. I know I'm, like, kissing the railing over here with those spikes next to me on this side and the other side, but, like, you basically just delay pressing forward when you do that, and you're okay. So, okay is relative, but you know what I mean. That's Gates' plot armor. These spikes are actually bullshit. I know. They are not very much fun. And then you've got this going on as well, slipping and sliding like I'm in a snowboarding minigame of some kind. And then, well, my dash didn't come out, so... Oh, and if you die before you get to the next section, you get to do all the jumps again with the spikes. Isn't that fun? Yay! I'm over this already. It's okay. But yeah, just kind of do that. And try not to go late either, because if you go late, you'll stub your toe on the spikes and then die, so... Yeah, you gotta be a little careful. Just a little bit, though. Like that. See, I kind of... Well, actually, in that particular case, I didn't go late. I jumped from too close to the center of the ice burst. If I do that, I also get killed, because then I don't quite make it to where I need to go. So, like, I need to stand here, kind of, yeah. So, like, on the left or right, like, tip, edge of the thing. And then, in this case, I went too early. So, you see how that works. That being said, once we get through this part, it'll be a little easier until we get to the boss. So, well, actually, I mean, with the shock buffer, the boss might not be too bad. The boss is pretty bad, but with the shock buffer, we should be okay. So, shock buffer just makes a lot of this game more manageable, quite honestly. So, whoop. See what I mean? Don't kiss the spikes either. It's a very good way to get spikes in your mouth. The rose bush is not edible, X. Play as Zero, end of story. This is not worth it. No, it is not, but hey, you know, it's a challenge. And quite honestly, like, I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, I think I'm resistant to this game's wiles at this point. Like, it's not yet bothering me, I should say. It's just like, it's almost like you're doing a speed run, you know what I mean? Like you're routing a speed run, so you're like trying a bunch of stuff over and over again just to see what works. That's the kind of feeling that I get from it, you know? And, yeah, so if that makes any sense to anybody. I'm just gonna let it carry me to the bottom here. Because that part you can jump off of, because, oh my god, it's just, stop with the please. It's just in my ear. Get that out of here. But yeah, that part you can actually, whatchamacallit. Okay, hold on. Let me get up here first. That part you can actually jump on because it's not all ice, but once you are in that small platform, it's all ice, so you can't jump off it. You're just forced to not. Oh, you're back from X4. What are you doing here? Did Gate just decide to repurpose you guys too, or what? Also, I probably could have come here with Weapon Plus equipped if I really wanted to, but nah, I think the shock buffer is more worth it, quite honestly. You're getting PTSD and you're not even the one playing. Yeah, that's understandable. Just gonna jump that before the lava decides to kiss my feet. And checkpoint. So we have made it to not having to do the stupid spike jumps anymore. We're done with that section, but the lava will start rising, so we gotta be a little careful. It won't rise all the way up here, though. It'll just rise to there. But we do have to be quick about this, because if we're not gonna make it to the bottom before, whoops, before we start rising again, and that would not have been good. Speaking of routing, you need to play Long Live the Queen again. Boyfriend and you both pledged to the Kickstarter for the sequel. Oh, nice. I haven't heard of Long Live the Queen. I'll have to look at that one. So, wait, he's up here. Yeah, there we go. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Trying not to go too far with that. But almost did anyway. You can kind of push the... Not really push the screen, but you can kind of go up like this really, like, without waiting for the screen to get you there, if that makes any sense. So, make it a stream suggestion, but don't think it's your kind of game. It depends on, like... Is it like that one that I recommended to you a while ago? What was it called? Volcano Princess. I think that's what it was called. I could be wrong, but I think that was what it was called. I don't think that would be one, like, that I'm particularly interested in. That was why I recommended it to you, so, like... Yes, but with more dying. Oh, okay, fun. So exactly what I'm about to experience. That's great, except probably it's more visual novel-y than this. This is just a horror movie. I'm going left. Oh, good, it actually worked out for me. Until I hit that bullet on the way up. Yep, there we go. Eh. Alright, you're down here. So this is the Nightmare Mother, or the Queen Nightmare, King Nightmare, something like that. It is difficult because it has a lot of health. The only vulnerable parts are the eyeballs inside of the boxes, and the boxes have gigantic hitboxes that you would not be able to clear unless you had the jumper part. So, at least not on extreme difficulty. I think if I remember right, on normal they move slower, so you have enough time to clear it, but not on this difficulty. Nope. So they're not weak to anything in particular, but I'm just going to use Metal Anchor because it works pretty good in this particular case. So I'm not going to... they also fire bullets like literally exactly where you don't want them to, so that's fun. Ow. Alright, let me get out of there. Just let the anchors go, see if they can make it to the guy before. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. I had a feeling you bastard. Yeah, they move kind of randomly once they're done doing that, and they can literally just go directly in the same way that they just went, so. This way, yeah. I'm not going to use my life recover on this one. You have to be careful. This is where life recover starts getting iffy, because when you use life recover, you can only use it once per mission. Not once per life, once per mission. So if I used life recover in that fight when it was the first one, basically, if I wanted to use it again, I would have to go back to the stage select screen, select this stage again, and get all the way back here in order for me to use it. So I have to be stingy with my life recover, unfortunately. It's kind of silly, but that's the way they programmed it, so that's why we have to be stingy with it, unfortunately. So, hey Chris, how you doing? Welcome back. Why are we fighting molecules? That is the mother of all nightmares. Like, all the nightmare souls that we've been defeating across the entire game, they spawned from this weird prokaryote. Yeah, it would be a prokaryote. Reploid prokaryote. This silly little molecule effect that they've got going on that I saw in the best education game of all time. Oh god. I was gonna say, I'm not making it through that gap. There's no way. Okay, what can I use when they're up? I think Yamar option will work okay. They're completely immune to meteor rain, by the way, so don't try that one, unfortunately. Okay, thank you for damaging me and showing me which direction you're going. That's helpful. Okay. Alright, Metal Anchor I think is better for this one. Let that go in, because I won't be able to hit it from where I'm at. Oh god. Eh. Can't believe I made that. Can't believe I didn't get damaged by that bullet. Oops. So yeah, it's either fire or lightning, one or the other. Oh, we got one of the eyes. Nice. That's perfect. Because now only one thing can shoot projectiles at me and try to kill me, so that's a good thing. I'll take it. I'll take it anyway. There's nothing else I can do. It's not like I can say, I won't take it. I don't like this. Let me have a different battle. This is the battle we get, unfortunately. All right, now go like somewhere where you're not up on the ceiling. Oh, that's not great. That's not great either. Okay. Yeah, metal anchors, please just piss off for a second so I can damage the thing. Oh god, X, go on the wall, please. Which, okay, you're up there. Oh god. I don't think I was gonna say, I don't think I can do this because that thing's gonna be smashing back and forth over and over again, so, because designs. Kind of looks like dark matter now that you get a good look at it. Yeah, kind of in a way. Literally about to suggest meteor rain, that's stupid. Yeah, I know. It's immune to meteor rain. It would be really nice for when it's up and down, but they must have been like, nah, yeah, no, that's your literal only up and down option. Let's make it completely immune to that. So you have to fight it from the walls while we shoot projectiles that creep along the walls, and yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be really stingy with my life recover because I don't want to... I need to get a good pattern and then be like, just barely... I'm going left again. Make it punish for it. Yep, don't care. Pick one direction and always go in that direction. That's what I say. This is sucky. I'm gonna hit both of, try to hit both of them anyway. Okay. But yeah, like when you're first doing it, pick one direction and always go in it, because otherwise it might not work out for you. So. Okay, well, I need to stop making contact damage is what I need to stop doing. That's not gonna work out for anybody. Yeah. Okay. Wait for it. I wonder if I can just spam here. Oh look, that did some good damage, even though I'm taking damage like crazy. But we did quite a lot of damage there. But yeah, the projectiles end up in just the right spot where they're like exactly where you don't want them to be. So, do I use a life recover here? No, I don't think. Well, maybe. No, never mind. little late for that thought, I think. Maybe if it's difficult, people will think it's good. Gonna say one thing, literally gonna hate the Zero games at some point. Oh no! Oh boy. Designed around you getting really good at having the base HP. Okay, well, I mean, I'm okay with that, honestly, because it just means, like, I just have to do this, effectively. Like, hopefully the Zero games have similar, if that's the case, they have similar checkpoint systems to this game then, because I'm okay with it if that's the case. If not, I guess I'll just have to get good, huh? Yeah, see how the projectile is, like, just in the spot where you would need to land in order for that to, like, not be stupid and kill you. Oh my god, okay. Which one's coming? Okay. I almost got it. Yeah, those projectiles are fired literally quite... in just the spot where... I didn't even see that fireball do that. Okay. Also, if I had damage barrier, that would probably help here, but I don't, so... Get back here, you asshole. Fix my head, you quack! I am not a duck, I am Rolf! Is this the other one? Because we did way more damage to the one. I would have figured it would have been dead. I think we've been... Okay, hang on. I'm getting murked here. Okay, metal anchor time. I'm probably going to destroy one of them pretty quickly. Yeah, I was going to say, that one should be just about dead if that's the case. How do I do this? I'm just going to stick with the metal anchor. Oh, hey, I hit it. Nice. Which way are you going? This way? Cool. I got one more good hit in me before I can use the life recover. So, actually, this is great. This is like the best possible combination that you could have had. Didn't even need the life recover. Kick its ass, X! Not the first one? Oh, okay, gotcha. Actually, I've played the first one. I haven't finished it, but I have played it. So probably what I'll do is I'll play the whole thing through to completion. Like, I've played enough of it where I wouldn't consider myself blind on it anymore. So I'll probably play the whole first one through to completion before we do the stream of it, because then, at the very least, I'll be prepared for it. I won't be surprised by anything. And then the other three will be blind, so... I don't know about Superior as always. I had a hell of a time getting here, so... Are you talking to me, or are you talking to Alia? Am I just gonna stand here, or... I mean, yeah, that's a fair point. Are we going to give the insane villain a talking to, guys? I don't think that's going to work. I feel like he's not going to listen to all of you. Also, if the signal is jammed, why can he hear all of us now? Well, yeah, because they literally can't go to the surface or they will die. There's not, like, proper hospitable living conditions, so... Yes, because Sigma caused this disaster, actually. So, yes, Reploids did cause this disaster. I won't be swayed by someone like this. I've had far too many weird conversations with Sigma at this point to know to be swayed by something as goofy as this. And that's why you went Maverick, so what's your point? Yeah, because you're literally a Maverick, and you have Nightmare Soul running through your veins. That's what's making you confident. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the chip! Is that what you call that? I picked up a piece of your old rival. I don't think that's Zero. I'm pretty sure that's somebody else. Oh, okay, fair enough. After all of that, my mind was freed of the shackles of things like having to actually work for my own goal. I could just do whatever I wanted. I could now create perfect and the strongest Reploids. You could move that around a little bit, but, you know. That's the thing, though. The first time I watched X6, I had never played it. I did watch, kind of probably similar to Marie's situation. Maybe Marie played it as a kid. But the first time I actually watched Mega Man X6, I hadn't played it at that point. I watched Clement's playthrough of Mega Man X6. And he really rails on the game. And I think it's justified because the game is bad. Let's be clear. But there are certain times where I feel like his critique is almost unfair. And also he's not saying the right thing. He talks a lot about how the game has bad grammar, and I don't necessarily know if it's grammar, because grammar's like sentence structure, right? It's not that the game has bad grammar, it's that the translation is poor, if that makes sense. So, like, I don't know. I don't know if that's quite the right critique. So. Clement's critiques are unfair once he doesn't like them. Yeah, and you know, honestly, like, no disrespect to the guy. He's made a lot of videos and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not going to say anything, but the trouble with content creators on the internet sometimes is that I feel like some of them feel like they have a lot to say, but fundamentally they're not curious, if that makes sense. Like, they don't want to approach a game on its own terms, almost. And when you don't approach a game on its own terms, it's hard for your critique to feel complete, which is why his critique of Final Fantasy II is just bad video making. Sorry, Clement. I'm not... Like I said, no disrespect to you. You need to remake that video by playing the game on its own terms. You do that, you'll have my respect back. You don't do that, we can't talk. We can't be friends. Sorry. So... Hey, Garrick, how you doing? Welcome back. We are in the final stages of Mega Man X6 on Xtreme mode with Unarmored X. I am running around like naked Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins, and it is not liberating. But we're getting there, so... Honestly, Reploids felt like they were going to be the next evolution for mankind. Yeah, kind of that's the way I have seen it anyway, so... Gonna say it. Realistically, are humans any better than Reploids at anything? Probably not, no. Like, obviously don't do genocide, but still. Yeah, it's kind of just like you're moving sideways rather than up. It is the next evolution of mankind, but they're moving sideways because they still have the same flaws that humanity has, I think, so... Had the GameCube X collection, played X6, and hated it. Gotcha. That's why you eventually unsubbed. And honestly, yeah, I could see it. I unsubbed as well, so I understand. Even when a piece of media isn't something you like, really recommend keeping a neutral stance. Love games like Final Fantasy V and 12. We'll rip them in half if you need to. Yeah, fair enough. Content creators sometimes pretend to have things to say when they actually don't care about a game, and it makes the critiques come out dry and unfulfilling. Yeah, and that's really, honestly, yeah, like, that's just... It's why I try to give the games a chance before I say anything, right? It's why I really try to, like, dig into, okay, what is this about? What is this trying to say? How do the systems work? All of those sort of things. I really do, and I don't know, I mean, all y'all have been watching. I don't know how much this comes through, but I really do try to at least make the attempt to dig in before I just rail on a game, especially if it's a blind playthrough, you know what I mean? If I'm playing it for the first time, I really try to dig into it. There are certain games where I've played them for years and I know how bad they are, and it's hard sometimes for me to come into the game and not just be like, this game sucks, you know, that's just from the outset, because it's like, okay, well, let's be candid about it. Let's see why it sucks, you know. So you worked for 12 hours and you're a bit worn out. Yeah, that's no good, Garrick. Well, hopefully at least they'll be paying you well for the 12 hours that you worked. And I feel that, because yesterday I didn't work 12 hours. I worked like 9.5. And it was mostly training and mostly social stuff. And I have a low social battery, so I understand your pain, my friend. Yeah, rest up. Just veg for the rest of the day if you can. And yeah, then you'll be fresh to tackle a new day tomorrow. Although it's where you're at, it's probably already tomorrow, isn't it? Sorry. Actually, I tried to make something out of Violet beyond just pointing one thing or the other out. Yeah, and I tried to, like... I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I tried to do something that I think would be both interesting and unique with the Titans, which I hope it made the playthrough at least a little more interesting than just the dryness of, I'll go to this area, I'll fight whatever trainers I want, I'll do that. There's like a million of those playthroughs on YouTube, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm kind of like, I'd rather play it in a way that you, if possible, you haven't seen before. And for me, that's not too hard, usually, because, like, I can just play it the way I usually do, which is literally me poking and prodding the thing until it all falls apart and I can see the guts of it. Oh, it's like, what's that? I forget. There's a game, I don't remember what it is, but there's a game where there's like a... It's probably a Mortal Kombat or something, but it's like a final move where the person turns into a hummingbird, right? And they just poke at the other person like a million times, and they just, like, their bodies literally unfold, like skin and all, unfold like a flower that a hummingbird would drink the nectar from after they poke them like a million times. If I had any anecdote, any like analogy to say this is how my streams go, it's graphic, but that's what I'd point to. So, ooh, that's a lot of Russian, I think. I could be wrong about that. Garrick, is that Russian? Sorry, I don't mean to rely on you for this, but that's a lot of, I think, Russian, and I apologize, I don't know any Russian, so I couldn't read that. But welcome, thanks for joining the stream. I could translate that, actually, but I don't have a browser open to do it, so. Why does Gate look so derpy in a lot of these images? Good question. I don't think he cares about how he looks, quite honestly, because he's mad, and it's so liberating. Time to teach you a lesson by going back to base, and then, like, I don't know, figuring out my something, so. If we could go over 40 hours in a week, congratulations, we have to work under 8 hours at some point to balance out time. Yeah, just a little bit, so. Russian, think it's some copy pasta stupid stuff you think? Okay, fair enough, I won't translate it then. Oh, his nickname is Barack Obama. You know, I looked at the last name on that, and I was like, that looks like Obama. Interesting, okay. Don't speak Russian, but the username and the formatting gives you ick. Okay, fair enough. Well, either way, thanks for joining us. We are, you know, just, and no disrespect to you. We are just figuring things out. We're 25% of the way to being done with this game now. And by 25%, I mean out of the stuff we had to do today. We're well over 75% of the way to the end, but, you know. Now just more of the secret lab. Let's see. Do I want to switch jumper off? I might want to switch for... do I switch for damage barrier or do I switch for weapon plus? Let me think. Because weapon plus would help with the first boss, but the first boss I'm not really worried about. Because, okay, so here's the thing you need to know about the next stage. Gates Secret Labs 2 and 3 are combined stages. You fight the boss of Gates Lab 2, you don't get a break. You have to go straight into Gates Lab 3 without coming back to base to rest and change your parts around and everything like that. And that also means if you use your life recover on the first half of the stage, you don't get it for the second half of the stage. So, yeah, be careful with that because it could be a problem. But yeah, like Weapon Plus will work on the first half of the stage. It'll do nothing on the second half of the stage. Damage barrier, double barrier might help the whole stage out. And we don't need jumper for this one. It actually might screw me up, jumper, in this particular one, because there's a very tricky jump. There's two, excuse me, very tricky jumps in this one that I might want to be careful of. Or I could equip Speedster. Or Hyperdash. I feel like Hyperdash I haven't really used. I'd have to get used to it. Speedster I might be able to equip. I'm just going to go with double barrier. It's fine. So, yeah, Oofity is right. That's how I feel right now. The ranks actually do anything this game on their own. Feels like the only real reason for the ranks is to track your progress on parts. Yeah, that's pretty much all they do, honestly. And, I mean, I talked about it a little bit before, but if I can give another recommendation to the Mega Man X6 Tweaks mod, I have some misgivings about it, but if there's one thing that I think it does really well, it's the way that it handles the parts system, because the ranks are, one, easier to attain, and two, you get more access to parts. Like, you get access to one part immediately. Even at a rank of D, you get access to one part slot. And you get to access all 4 slots and 1 limited part slot by 5,000 Nightmare Souls. So if I had played the Tweaks version and we had gotten everything we got here, I'd already be able to equip 4 parts. So I didn't do that because I didn't play the Tweaks version. And like I said, I'll talk about like my misgivings about that. There's just a couple that I'll talk about when we get to the end of the game. So, but first, Secret Lab Stage 2. Round 2. Fight. Oh, look, another spike hall went. Good start. All right, let's see. I shouldn't be dash jumping. That's a good way to poke my head on some spikes. Ow. All right, well, anyway, Yamar options continue to excel, as usual. Oops. There we go. No missiles for you. I'll take the high road, actually. I never take the high road, so I'll try taking the high road this time. I always take the low road on this stage. I don't know why. Probably because there's less nightmares to... No, not less, but, like, it's easier to deal with them this way. So, because then they don't, like, come up completely out of nowhere. Oh my god, that's a lot of nightmares. Holy. Okay, there we go. Get a few extras here, I guess, from what we had before. Oh, was that a full life tank? I didn't see. Cool. That's helpful. Just get that guy out of here. Okay. I was gonna say, where's the floor? Found the floor. Alright, well, that wasn't so bad. Maybe the rest of the stage will be that easy, right? No. We got the only other checkpoint in this section just now. And trust me when I tell you, things are about to get something. Am I out of... Oh, no, I just can't use them at the same time as the rest. Okay. There we go. Grab that before he comes back. Get out of here. Yeah, things are about to get a little interesting. Because, as it turns out, the bane of X's existence in a game like this is tricky platforming. And there is some tricky platforming going forward, so... Well, you and me, little dragonfly, that's all we got left. Metal anchor, actually. Hey! Got one. No, I'm not going to be able to duck that. Okay, got them both. Good. Perfect. The camera's a little wonky right now, but there should be, I was going to say, floor right about here, so... Those little guys in the spark balls there, they're invincible while in the spark ball. They won't take damage, so yeah, you just kind of got to deal with it, unfortunately. Take both of those, thank you. I wish I had my Yamars back, because this next section's going to be rough without them. Ray Arrow? Ice Burst, actually. I'm going to try Ice Burst. Get out of here. Oh wow, that barely did anything. Okay. Well, try anyway. Here we go. Okay, got that face. Get me out of here. Because if you stand on that thing and it pushes you into the ceiling, it will smoosh you. And when it smooshes you, well, you normally take 50% damage from it, but with the shock buffer you take 33, so... Yeah. Also, there's spikes right there, so make sure your jump is true, or your jump will kill you. Yeah, that. Like that. It's probably for the best, though, because I get a full weapon refill from that, which means more Yamars. Which is something I desperately needed just now. But yeah, the totem poles, they normally don't send out their central parts on normal mode, but since this is extreme mode, they'll send out their central parts, which is the flying bird thing, before you even enter the screen with them, as it turns out. So that's fun. Oh, but you see, we haven't even begun to fight yet, because in a minute we'll get to the part that's, well, a little more interesting. Actually, metal anchor here, better. Yeah, almost got that one. Oh, got them both. All right, perfect. Why is Commander Yamar's weapon probably the best one in this game? There's something about bullet spam. Something about bullet spam. Just it makes me happy, and it makes a lot of other people happy apparently too, because well, it's just a really solid. And honestly, I think if I had to give you the technical explanation, it's because the enemies, other than bosses, do not have active invincibility frames in the same way that bosses do. So, if I had to give you the technical explanation, that's probably it, because their frame data means that they take damage immediately after getting hit by another attack. So, like there, that guy got hit almost immediately by the Yamar bullets after he already was damaged by me, so... Yamar's just based like that. Yeah, he's not a very difficult boss, but he knows how to make good weapons, apparently, so... Really wish Guard Shell and Ray Arrow were better. Yeah, honestly. I mean, I feel like Ray Arrow could have potential to be pretty good, but, like, it just never really... Like, I won't even... A lot of people use it in the next boss fight. I won't even be using it in the next boss fight because, well... I said I have some new tech for Infinity Maginian. That didn't work out, but, like... I do actually have some new tech this time. Hang on, sorry. Just get rid of this guy as best I can. I'm really taking a lot of damage in the process, but, you know... It's okay. I actually do have some new tech this time, though, and I promise you it will actually work, unlike previously. Can I get this if I... Nope. Just get rid of that guy. Alright, so here is the tricky part right here. You have 3 platforms, you have spikes on every orifice of this part of the building, and you have to basically maneuver it in such a way that you make it through that gap over there, where that one is moving horizontally left to right. Also, the peanut gallery over here will continue to shoot you the whole time. I've tried previously doing this in such a way where, first of all, I get rid of the peanut gallery as quickly as possible, but they just respawn after a while. So the more times you go back and forth on this thing, the more they'll respawn and the more damage you're taking, all that stuff. But you have to line it up in such a way that that one moving left and right is all the way over, and the one that's moving up and down is all the way down. Once you do that, you should be able to jump through the gap. It's not quite there yet, but maybe on the next pass. I'm just going to let them shoot me. Whatever. I don't give a care. I could probably use the double barrier to try to, like, go over the spikes there, but I don't think I have enough clearance. I think I'll just die if I try that, so... And, I mean, if we die doing this, that's... Oh, and also, if you stand too far to the left on this platform, you can get smushed by the second platform and die. So, yeah. Hang on, this might be it right here. Okay, I went a little early. I have to wait a little longer there, but that's the idea, basically, is once that third one is all the way to the left, and this one is, the second one's moving up, jump. Just dash jump as close as you can up and over. And if I had been using Jumper, I think that would have been a little trickier, because Jumper gives you more clearance, like gives you more height, and I probably would have messed that up. But, yeah, if you mess that up, you have to go all the way back here again. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun gameplay? And this is like one full room before this, and you have to wait for the platforms and everything like that. Excuse me, good lord. So yeah, that's a tricky section, for sure. I guess that's a nice way of putting it, huh? Okay, metal anchor. Can I get that over here from here? I can, okay. Well, it only hit the one guy, but that's okay. Usually, he's the one that takes longer to destroy anyway, so I'll take it. Beat X6 once, never again. Yeah, you know, honestly, I get it. Okay. I don't want to go in there yet because it's going up, but... Only done this once. And, you know, it's really difficult to do that section without, like, having any, like, double jump or anything like that. Like, any good traversal tools, really. All we've got is the dash jump, and that's it. So we kind of have to wing and a prayer it, you know. Alright, I'm just going to get rid of that guy. I think it's just the one on the bottom now. Yeah, okay. We'll make the jump after this. Still have 17 Yamars, so that's a good thing. If I don't jump into spikes here, though, that would not be good. Yeah, like I said, there's just something about bullet spam, honestly. It just appeals to me, and evidently it appeals to somebody on the X6 dev team, because I can bullet spam this thing quite a ways until the cows come home, basically. Okay. There we go. Keep this up. Peanut Gallery. Oh, and by the way, if you're thinking about damage boosting with those guys, unfortunately, those ones, I've never gotten them to actually move. Like, some of the nightmares, they'll move with you, like, they'll, like, track you and try to move towards you to just contact attack you. These ones do not move, as far as I'm aware. They just firing squad you like a bunch of assholes. So, yeah. Yeah, I really like Ultimate Buster, honestly. It's really helpful because it lets you concentrate on the platforming, which is really half the battle with Unarmored X, is getting the platforming correct, so... I'm also glad for Double Barrier in this particular instance, because it's letting me take only 2 hits from these guys instead of, like, 3 or 4 would be taking. Alright, I'm gonna go over here, because I think it's just about... I shouldn't have gone, actually. You know what I should have done is I should have waited. Because if I had waited a little longer, like if I had stayed on that second platform, I could have waited until it was all the way to the left, it went up a little bit more, and I could have cleared the gap, hopefully. But that's the gist, so we just have to capitalize on that now. See if we can do that. We did it with 0, so I can't imagine, I mean, I'm looking at the platforming, so I know it's going to be difficult with X, but I can't imagine it'll take us... you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. Actually, I've seen this horror movie before. I know how this ends if I say the rest of that sentence. Now I got the top one. Yeah, almost jinxed it. Yep. But I didn't, so we're good. To Mars. I'll wait out the cycle. Maybe to get this guy. I also love how he stops just shy. I don't know why I did a dash jump there. That was asking for it. I was cruising for a bruising. I got both of those guys. Good. Oh, looks like the little guy went away somewhere. Yeah, like, it's just very slow to get back to that jump, and then you literally get one shot at it, and that's it, and then you have to go all the way back. It's like, okay. Okay, guys. I get it. This is what your difficulty has turned into. Like, why not give me a checkpoint here? You know, like, I understand it's really close to the previous checkpoint, but, like, if you're gonna make a section that looks like that up there, you need to do something. Throw me a bone or something here. Okay, there we go. Alright. Let's see here. Yeah, it was almost over right there. I don't want to stay there, though. Oh, this is a mess. I'm just going to go back down. I almost just made that really difficult for myself by trying to float on the platforms. You can do that. You can cling to the side for dear life if you're really good at doing the jumps, but I'm not, so I won't. Yeah, so if I had stayed to the left there, I probably would have gotten smooshed. So. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Here. There it is. See? Not too bad. Just have to wait to the exact correct time, honestly. I think a lot of people make that part look like it's very, very difficult with Unarmored X, when the reality is the hard jump is not yet here. It's in the next section after this next boss, but we got a checkpoint, so... Reminds you of the thing that you tinfoil had at once. This game had no dev time. The devs were probably pissed they didn't bother balancing the game. Well, if a lot of them were like, nah, X5 was supposed to be the last one, then I can imagine why they were pissed. Kind of like that one worker for forum for Game Freak employees, where a lot of the posters were discouraged because it'll sell well in regards to new Pokemon titles. Yeah, or it'll sell well in regards to new Pokemon titles. Yeah. So that sort of eats up any inspiration that you have. So as a developer, quite honestly, when that's the prerogative of the company. So, hello, hi Max. Data-wise, you've surpassed me. I don't think you understand how this is going to go for you. I know your weakness. Unfortunately, he knows my counterplay to his weakness. So let's think about the previous high max boss fight, right? You shoot him with a charge shot, and then you hit him with a special weapon. That's still true here. However, remember, your charge shot can only move left and right. Like, it doesn't move up and down. It only moves left to right, depending on which direction you shoot it. So to solve that problem, high max has a shield. So now what he'll do is he'll put up the shield, and then once he puts up the shield, he can do a bunch of different attacks at that point. The most dangerous one is where he just charges at you with the shield. But sometimes he'll fire the shield away from himself, and that'll let you charge shot him and then shoot him with a special weapon if I can get it in time. There we go. So Meteor Rain will actually get a chance to shine here because... Okay. Well, that wasn't very nice of him. There. Yeah, this is the most dangerous attack because it's actually surprisingly difficult. You can't dash under him or duck under him like you used to. But you can do what I'm doing here, so... Okay, can you, like, get out of your loop, please? I'm not destroying your shields. You can destroy the shields if you want to make this a little... I want to say easier, but that's not fully true, is it? So, if you've played this boss fight before, you'll know that's not true. It doesn't make it easier because then he spams his desperation move over and over again, and that's equally difficult to deal with, so... So we're going to do this the old-fashioned way, which is the very boring way, which is just letting him... See, like, look. See? Can't duck under it. And I'm doing the best I can, but unfortunately there's a ceiling that's invisible in this room that I can't see, for one, and two, it will make me bonk my head on it, which will cause me to fly directly into his shields. And there's not much I can do about that. And again, I could destroy the shields by shooting at them with special weapons and charge shots and all that stuff, but you can actually kind of get him into a loop if we do this right. If he stops charging me, I can kind of get him into a loop where I have him just kind of, like, shoot the shields at me. I'm not even going to bother. If he does that, I'm just going to let him run me over, honestly, because, like, come on now. Do something else, please. I'm literally begging you. Like, look it. I can't even... Okay. That works. So I guess you can kind of sneak it in if you take some damage, but that runs into the same problem, right? Is how do I take the... Like, I can't trade with him. He's only taking 1 damage from each of my attacks, so, like, I can't just trade with him all the time. So eventually I'm going to go down, and I can't use life recover here because I will need it in the next section, so... If we die, we die. That's the gist. But yeah, not going to destroy the shields. Well, you know, I can show you what happens if you do destroy the shields. Let's just bullet spam it, and I'll show you what happens, so... More like it makes you spiteful AF. Yeah, honestly, that too. Quite a bit, that too, yeah. So. But yeah, let me show you what happens if you destroy the shields, because it's not fun, necessarily. Okay. So yeah, you can get damage off on him if you destroy the shields. It's just... Maybe that's okay, honestly. But yeah, once you destroy the shield 5 times, something bad's going to happen. We'll just say it that way. Just gonna take the damage. think that was 4? Yeah, that was 4. So he'll do some of his old moves occasionally, but like, you know, most of the time he'll just default to the shields, so. No. Okay. Well, the more I do this, though, the easier it'll be to not, like, get him stuck. Yeah, I don't know how to dodge this consistently. Like, you need to jump from a specific point on the wall, but you can't just jump straight at the wall and then jump past, unlike before, so. This is more my speed, though. I can handle that version of this move. The ultimate version that he can use if we destroy the shield one more time, not so much. That's one of the trickier attacks because his like little shots he only shoots out very like slowly, but also at the same time you're trying to dodge the shield, so it fakes you out a little bit. So you know. I find jumping when that sound effect for him putting up the shields happens, sometimes, it doesn't always, but sometimes it kind of makes him want to shoot the shields left and right, if that makes sense. So, like watch, hang on, so there, and there. It's not quite right, but, oops. But yeah, so like if you jump, he's more like when he puts the shields up. He'll shoot him out. Kind of like that. I don't know if he's programmed to do that, but it makes me feel like he's programmed to do that. So, like, wait. Okay. That I can handle. This isn't a fun fight at all. No, it's really boring, honestly. That's just the gist of it, is it's either boring or it's bullet hell. Because if he did his desperation move, he'd use this move over and over and over and over again. That, except, like, he's shooting it at high speed from the center of the screen directly at you. I think he did that in the other fight as well. So, yeah, so, like, you see how the sound effect ended and I jumped and it sort of made him, like, decide, oh, okay, I'm just going to shoot it to the left and right. Again, I don't know if that's consistent, but it feels consistent to me, so... Wait for it. See? Again, I could just be getting lucky, but... And then he calls me a C word and explodes into the afterlife. That's not very nice, hi Max. Now, I don't know what he's actually saying there. It's probably some, like, damaging thing from Japanese, but it sounds like the C word. What a sore loser. So used to having enemies that have levels above 9. How are the levels so low here? Well, level 4 is as far as it goes, but... Yeah, so it starts at level 1 and then it goes all the way to level 4 and that's it, but... Yeah, Magna Defender, that's the guy from Lost Galaxy, yep. So, it's probably a thing, reminds you of Isoth and Felghana. Yeah, and honestly, like, I feel like probably his AI is set to be like, okay, if they're clinging to the wall, shoot the shields at the wall, you know what I mean? So, like, that probably is a thing. He probably actually does have some kind of, like... Well, do that, so. You think I'm actually gonna destroy that thing? I've got double barrier. I'm just getting out of here. You guys can eat my entire you-know-what. Alright, so, this is Gate Slab 3. I'm gonna be careful here. I don't know where this... Oh, no, I know what this is. Hold on. Yeah. Knock, knock. Who's there? So, first things first, just get rid of these strong arm guys. Armstrong? Armstrong! That guy? No, not that guy. Sorry. Sorry, Metal Gear Rising fans, I probably just activated all of you, but it's not that Armstrong, unfortunately. Might be the Armstrong, more likely the Armstrong from Crystal Chronicles than that guy. Oh, I was gonna say, they did that thing that they do, where they hide the spikes from you until you're, like, right on top of them. Like, they're right below you. Who remembers Rainy Turtleoid stage? Because you get to do that again. Isn't that fun? No. No, it's not for most people. Alright, here's the jump right here. So we've destroyed that guy. The platform is over there. I need to clear this jump in such a way that I jump to the side. Like, I need to basically slide down the wall here as far down as I can and jump as much as I can to the right while not really banging my head on the other side of that platform, because when I bang my head, I'm going to lose momentum, and still get to the other side. How do you do that as X? Well, it takes some tech, and I don't know that I'm good at it, but I'm going to try it, and we're going to see if it works out. If it doesn't, I've got plenty of, well, not plenty of lives, but lives literally don't matter, because you'll just checkpoint anyway. And you have to do it fairly quickly, because your HP is slowly ticking down by the acid rain, so, you know, be careful about it. All right, let's see if I can do this. That's not it. Nope, that's not it either. So, you see how I pause in midair when I use the magma blade there, though? That's the key to victory here. I'll show you how to do it. It takes some finger maneuvering a little bit. It's not like clawing the controller, but it takes a little bit of maneuvering, so we'll figure it out, though. Plus, thankfully, the section before it is pretty simple, so it's just these guys. Not really a whole lot going on other than me spamming bullets at them, so. Alright, here's where the spikes are below me. Back to Acid Rain. Gets rid of my Yamar options. It's not very nice. Alright, make it back to where we were so I can kind of give you the idea of what we're trying to accomplish here. First of all, we're going to get rid of this guy again. Alright, there we go. So now, get the magma blade out. And let me see what's said in chat here for Murray. Early boss that you can shoot with a single uncharged fireball, and if you hit him after a particular attack, he skips half of his pattern, drastically speeding the fight up because you get to where he's vulnerable to another fireball again. Oh, okay, yeah, I could see how that is, because you're kind of just like telling the AI to do a certain thing, so you skip phases, basically. Okay, yeah, I could see how that works. All right, it might be better to like fall off of this wall here, maybe? Okay, so I'm currently paused in midair with Magma Blade momentum. Switch to ground dash, immediately shoot it. Switch back to Magma Blade, that's not what I meant to do. And hold right the whole time while you're doing this, as much as you can anyway. I might not have enough clearance, we'll see. Yeah, not enough clearance. But that's the idea, basically, is just do that over and over again until you make it to that platform. Because you need an air dash, really, to make it to that platform normally. You just don't have enough momentum if you go from the very bottom of the platform there and try to jump across as Unarmored X. You just don't have enough momentum. You'll hit your head and you'll die. So we're going to try that one again and do exactly the tech there, and that'll be the gist of it. So I'm getting a phone call. Hold on a second. Sorry. Mom went to the farmer's market. She picked me up some fruit today, so that was what that call was. Nothing special. Nothing that I had to interrupt the stream for, but it's my mama. She being nice, so. Because she did not have to do that. And she did anyway. Okay. Back to this tech again. Back to Acid Rain, this BS. And and then we'll... I almost had it last time, actually. So I didn't have enough vertical clearance. If I do it a little bit better the next time, I think it'll be better, so. Serendipity there, Chris. Ambac got a peach. I was just saying, my mom went to the farmer's market earlier today, and she got me fruit, so. We're on the same wavelength here. All right, Chris, you haven't seen this yet. Are you ready for the tech that I have to pull off in order to make this jump? Because I don't think you are. The platform's over there to the right. I can't make it if I go all the way to the bottom of the platform on the left and try to jump. I'll hit my head and die. So I have to do this instead. Ooh, I fell really far there. I don't think I'm going to make it. Ooh, I made it. Okay. That's what I need to do. That's the tech right there. That's the tech. I think I erroneously said that's the leap of faith in a previous stream. That's not the leap of faith. That's just... Yeah, black magic is what that is. Yeah. I have to take advantage of the game's lack of bug testing. Nothing to interrupt the stream for? Dude, someone called to tell you something nice. That's worth interrupting stream for. You know, you're right, actually. Yeah, that's fair. Let's be fair to Mama Chromium here. She called to give me something nice, and that's nice of her. She didn't have to do that, and... Yeah, that's worth interrupting stream for. You're right. You are totally correct. Alright, there's no more tech for the rest of the entire game. That's the only tech we had left, so... This part's a little tricky, but it's nothing that you haven't done before if you've played other Mega Man games, though, so... You know. Like this. Yep, that's it, right there. That's the gist of it. I shouldn't... Yeah, I was gonna say, I shouldn't be going that way, because I'm gonna be, like, getting blasted in a second. Alright, so the last one's up there. I'm just gonna wait for that missile to go by first. Maybe try to get rid of this guy, if I can. I need to go up there with him. Yep. Double barrier time. Okay, I don't have to kill you anymore because the other thing's dead, so... There we go. See ya! Volcano levitation tech. Yeah, that was about right, honestly. So... Alright, we're through to the other side at this point. Trying to do this no damage would suck, trust me when I tell you that, but I don't have such requirements, but... I've seen it done! 100% Unarmored X, no damage taken. So like I said, there's no tech left, but the next boss fight is, well, right here, for one. And two, a little tricky. We'll give it a shot. I still have life recover. I'm probably not going to use it on this attempt, because this attempt is kind of feeling it out. And then we'll go from there, so... Ah, gate. At last, we meet in person. Were we meeting in person previously, or... Because it seemed like we were in the same room in the last cutscene that we were in, so... Yeah, you didn't really make them very well if I can destroy them, and I've got old tech, so... Or I'll have to shoot you! What kind of experiment? No, because he's completely insane, X. He doesn't know that he's making a mistake, because to him, it's not a mistake. You can do that without fighting me. But he won't do that. So, he pulls out his golden armor like a Yakuza villain. Now, Gates... Okay, we've got these things first to deal with. This is the 10 FPS bullet. We love the 10 FPS bullet. We don't. I hate it. So, Gate. He's completely invulnerable to your charge shot. He's also completely invulnerable to all of your special weapons. He can't be damaged in any way by any of that stuff. The only way to damage him is, well, first of all, he needs to stop just going all over the place. So you have to damage him with his own bullets, basically. He'll fire out these random bullets, and again, he'd win the boss fight if he never fired them out, but he'll fire them out. You have to shoot them until they explode. They'll move in a pattern, kind of. Hang on. Oh, good, I hit his... I stubbed his toe with it. Good. Yeah, so they'll move out in a sideways left and right pattern then, and once they move out, he'll get damaged by them as long as they actually make contact with him. Also, something worth noting is you can actually walk through his body while he's being damaged. When he's not being damaged, you can't walk through it anymore, but while he's being damaged, you can. You cannot, however, whatchamacallit, Like, see, I can walk through his hitbox when he's being damaged. You cannot, however, walk through his hitbox afterwards, and you can't walk through the actual pellets in any way, so, yeah. Okay, he's below half, so once he's below half, he'll start doing that slash thing, and that can actually damage the platforms and temporarily get rid of them. Like that. So. This fight seems 100% tedious. You are correct. It is tedious. It's very tedious. Oops. X hit the thing. Okay, that's fine. Feeling it out. This guy is negative K, not straight. Oh, that's a new collection of words I've never seen before in my life. How come his projectiles pass through walls? That's because they're the only ones that can damage him. The only projectiles in this game that pass through walls are the ones that damage him. None of my projectiles pass through walls. So... It is, but yeah, it is 100% tedious and stupid and not very fun. You're both correct. So, now here's the thing, though. The Tweaks version of this. Oh, and it erases all of his shots, by the way. Once you damage him, all of his shots go away. So, here's the thing: the Tweaks version of this gets rid of his resistance to the X-Buster, so you can just shoot him, and it kind of. I don't like that. Like, it sort of removes a lot of the bite to the fight, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not trying to say that it should be like this. This is boring as all get out, but that one, the blue one, by the way, is the, it'll vacuum you towards itself, so be careful with that. The orange one shoots out projectiles. This one will summon nightmares after a while. The green one just kind of follows you. So that one's probably the least dangerous. I mean, the green and the orange equally, so actually. I'll take the hit. I've got double barrier, might as well use it. So. Oh. Yeah, see how it spawns a nightmare. They'll go away once it explodes, though, so. This one is the one I hate the most, because when I say it's the 10 FPS bullet, it literally makes the game move at 1/3 of its normal speed. And that can, you know what happens then, so like the game moves at 30 FPS normally. Now it's at 10 FPS. You know what that means? 20 frames less frame data for you to work with to shoot your shot, which means your shots get erased, your jumps get erased, you fall in the pits, blah, blah, blah. Nothing good happens from the 10 FPS bullets. So, can you, like, get rid of this platform in the middle for me, please? Because this one I like, but the other ones, you can get rid of this middle one. It's really not doing anything for me. You know, the one that I keep, like, hitting my face on almost, trying to get across here. But yeah, there are certain points in this fight where he can spend upwards of 2 minutes just not firing bullets, just moving left to right and slashing. Isn't that fun? Isn't that good gameplay? Whoops. No. Well, it's gone now. My opportunity of a lifetime. Okay, Gate, what the hell? You didn't take damage from your own bullets there. You're ignoring the rules of the game to suit yourself. What are you, a billionaire? Oh god. Yeah, see, my jump isn't coming out there because I'm shooting. I promise you I'm shooting right now. But it wasn't shooting. What am I gonna do here? No, I guess I'm gonna do this. Okay, get out of here before he decides to slash. He often counters a bullet to the face with a slash in this phase, so just keep that in mind. Don't be standing right next to him when you shoot, well, when he shoots himself. Whoops. There we go. I kind of like the blue bullet, though. It's kind of stupid, but I kind of like it. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. I think it's a fun, like... I don't know if fun is the right word, actually. But it's something that I could see the developers using to be like, hey, bottomless pit, be careful. You know? So... What do you mean impossible? You better believe it. Just because I'm old tech doesn't mean you can beat me. I think if I remember correctly, Usuga in Japanese means impossible. I could be wrong about that, though. get why the mod removes immunity to the X-Buster, but this fight is literally designed in a way that if you change it without a total redesign, the fight just shatters. Yeah, and that's exactly the point. Like, it makes it less tedious, but at the same time, it removes all challenge from the fight. All you have to do then is not fall in the pit, which it doesn't really, like, Double is harder than that at that point. Iris is harder than that at that point. Like, some of the regular Mavericks are harder than that at that point. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't build him up to be the villain, you know? So, credit to Gate. This is a pretty well-laid fight for his victory. Too bad it won't stop us. Yeah, and I mean, he had an idea in mind. It's just, he didn't anticipate, maybe I should have made my bullets immune to him as well. So, Double was, I hated Double, but Iris wasn't that bad. Yeah, honestly, like, let me think about that. Which of the two would I say are tougher? Probably Double. Yeah, probably Double, honestly, because just with the movement tools that you have in X4, I think Double would be tougher. You don't have Duck in X4. You can't crouch, so, like, there's certain attacks that Double does that you basically have to just dash under them and pray that you dashed far enough. So. Well, did you think you were going to win? I literally beat Zero in the last game. I don't think it was handily, but I did beat him, so. Maybe you should have analyzed it, because I don't think that was Zero's program in that chip. Zero is orange. That chip was green. There's only one green guy that I know of. Of course you did. You had a contingency for everything. So what did you do? You don't, huh? Well, you don't have to. I could just take you back to base and we could arrest you. Ailey could repair you. You brought back Sigma? That's it? That's all you've got? He comes back every Tuesday. What do you think that makes you special? No, you definitely died. You exploded into a million pieces, and the space colony crashed and was destroyed. You were dead. I don't know what you think you're doing, Sigma, but okay. Also, apparently, Gate is weak to Sigma. Maybe he should have thought about that. You seem less lucid than you were a second ago. Is it because you destroyed your host? Maybe you should have not done that, because now you're exposed. Drat, he says. Nothing, no snappy comebacks, no like, oh my god, it's Sigma again. Just drat, he's back. That's all the energy X can muster up for this jackass now. Alright, well, let's chase him down. And, yeah, that Isaac guy that was probably supposed to be important earlier in the game. Yeah, he just broke down and died. No, there's literally nothing. There's nothing to him. He got... Shield Sheldon got to protect Professor Jim, and Isaac got, like, 2 cutscenes, and this is how he dies. He's just dead. Let's not worry about this. Let's just leave before the people who think that he's Dr. Wily Reborn can pull their conspiracy theories out of the woodwork. So, all right. Yeah, green. Vile? Something like that, yeah. Wait, he's purple. Till X8, you think? Yeah, I think... Was he green in X3? He was definitely purple in X1. I'm trying to remember if he put on different armor in X3. I know he was green in X8, though. You're right about that. I'm just trying to remember X3. What was his purpose? Why? His purpose was to die. Yeah, now a lot of people theorize that he was, like... there is literally nothing to justify this theoretical perspective, by the way. This is literally them blowing smoke. But they theorize that he was Dr. Wily Reborn, because I think if I remember right, he might have some conversation with Zero? I don't think... Maybe if you bring Zero there, but I don't remember him having a conversation with Zero when we were there, when we played as Zero, so... I don't think so. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter, so... Alright, we're going to take off the double barrier, we're going to put Jumper back on, it'll just make things a little bit easier in this final stage, but this is the final stage! We get to go fight Sigma. Again! Yay. Alright, here we go! Also, I'm trying something different today because it is currently 9:03 Eastern Time and it is still 87 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I have the lights off in here, so I can't actually see what time it is, but I just looked at my phone, so I can see it from that. So, How is he Wily Reborn? Is this a Japanese script thing? How? I mean, it might be, but this game's plot is literally nonsense to begin with, so I don't... Even if it's in the Japanese script, I don't know that I'd trust it. Like, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Oh, good. What was this? It's the thing that's like Quickman stage, except instead of the death beams, there's just spikes everywhere. Love that for me. It's probably the toughest part of this stage specifically. It's trying to get through all these spikes without dying. I don't actually know where I can land without... I guess there. Maybe here. A double barrier would probably help here too. Oh, I just can't grab that wall. Okay, fair enough. A life recovery item? I haven't seen these in forever, since Rainy Turtleoid stage. But yeah, so they are actually here, and they come back on this platform every time you beat a Reploid, because it's the boss rush time. Gotta beat the 8 Mavericks again, so they'll fill up your E-Tanks if you have them. If you've got 2, so much the better, because, well, you can fill up both your E-Tanks. So if you had both of them, you could have 2 E-Tanks and a life recover for the final fight, so it's almost like having 3. But yeah, so that's the gist. I think what I'm going to do is, until the E-Tank is full, I'm just going to go, like, in order here. And then we'll go all the way to the bottom once the E-Tank is full. Maybe. Is this game even canon? Like, seriously, is this game canon? If you ask Keiji Inafune, I think he says no. Or he defers to whatever Capcom said it was, but I think the answer is pretty much no. So. I don't think the canon of Mega Man makes any sense anymore, quite honestly. So. Commander Yamark is weak to this Ray Arrow, so if you were wondering about boss weaknesses, there you go. Of course, he's pretty weak to just getting absolutely annihilated by the X-Buster anyway, so... Society rebuilt itself before X7. Does this game matter? No. You're right about society rebuilding itself. I don't think this game makes much of a difference. Like, quite honestly, it's like this is the post-apocalypse, and this game is the closest thing the X-Series gets to a zombie movie. But, like... yeah, no, society literally rebuilds itself pretty much exactly as it was back before X5. By the time we get to X7. And they ignore whatever plot points they were trying to bring up in this particular one. Maybe they thought this was going to be the last game, and then they made X7 because they were like, oh, transition to 3D. Capcom's like, oh, okay. Let's just make money off of this with a franchise that we know makes money, even though... Whoops. Even though it wasn't a particularly good 3D transition, if you ask me. Oh, right, boss weaknesses, sorry. Blizzard Wolfang gets me into a pattern, a rhythm, almost. Get off the wall. He's weak to the Magma Blade. I guess this works, whatever I just did there. Yeah, see, he's weak to the Magma Blade. There we go. That took a little damage, but we're going to go up and refill for the E-Tank anyway, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. So, I'm not going to say this stage is easy street for now, but it will get harder later. So, yeah, drove him up a wall, literally. Something like that, yeah. Next. And actually, it's funny, because I'm kind of keeping with my normal MO with these games. Usually when I fight the bosses for the first time, I don't use their weakness, even if I have it. And then when we do the boss rush, I do, so that it makes it expedited a little bit. Alright, well, Blaze Heatnix is just weak to the X-Buster, quite honestly, as you'll see from the Ultimate Buster that I'm using here. So, he didn't start firing his rocks out. If he did, it would have been better, but he did not. That's okay. But if he fires the rocks out, now that we have Ultimate Buster, we literally are just quick enough to do this. Let's keep that up, brother. How about Magma Death? He's actually weak to... What's he actually weak to? The Ground Dash. That's what he's actually weak to. But Ground Dash is slow and X-Buster is fast, so, you know, I'd rather use that. Oops, yeah. Let go of the L1 button. Okay, so you hear how it beeped twice there? It went bleep bleep. That means your E-Tank is full. So now the only reason I need to come back up there is if I need to, well, get some life back from, like, taking damage in another fight. So, I guess we'll just go here next. Because this is Infinity Maginian, if I remember correctly, so... And then we'll just work our way back up. Or we'll just go all the way back up and grab the life energy from there. So. Found a few people who say you should do exactly what you do. Weaknesses are for the boss rush unless you're bad like you. I don't know about bad like you, but yeah, weaknesses, I think I'm on board with that. I think weaknesses are for the boss rush, so. Alright, so last time I had tech for Infinity Maginian. This time I'm not teching. I'm literally just... I'm standing here. That's what I'm doing. You can use the guard shell for him, but yeah, no. Actually, you know what? Yes, I will demonstrate the guard shell. There. Where are you? Which one is you? Oh, that's you. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I had tech before. Pull him up to the top of the screen so that they can't fire bubbles. Why even do that? I have 6 million health and the shock buffer. Just tank the hits. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one, as it turns out. Alright, let's just skip these guys real quick for a second. Another nice thing about Jumper, it lets me space jump back up here to refill my health very easily. But now that Infinity Maginian's out of the way, we should be able to do things a little easier. So, next! Buffalo chicken nuggets, yeah, something like that. X has an intolerance to spicy food, so he just annihilated. Pepto-Bismol, bitch! I've never actually had Pepto-Bismol, so I don't know how well that works, quite honestly. I was drinking water, Metal Shark player. Give me a second. Speaking of water, he's weak to Meteor Rain, so... Oops. How about you punch Gra this? Oh, okay. No, didn't take a weakness hit from that one, but that's okay. Kind of hoping that would come down and hit him, but that's okay. I suppose it makes sense that he's weak to Meteor Rain, though, because a lot of his attacks, he goes, like, vertical to you, and then he comes down on top of you. So, you know, there's that. I'm not even going to go heal. It's fine. I should be okay with whatever this is, especially if it's, like, Ground Scaravich or something. Yeah, hey, look at that, Ground Scaravich. The horizontal bars that are there, the poles that you can slide along, that's how I know it's him, so. Come back this way, thank you. He's weak to Yamar option, but, yeah, you too, buddy. We'll let him scream pudding into the void one more time. Hey, he did the thing! Hi, Magna Centipede. Yeah, he actually got to summon somebody. So he can summon Magna Centipede. I think he did that in the actual normal fight, but that's okay. He can summon Blast Hornet from X3. He can also summon Sting Chameleon from X1, if I remember correctly, so... It's neat that they brought those guys back. I just wish, again, he had more time to actually do that attack, because he doesn't do it until he's at 25% health. At 50%, it might, you know, it might make that a little more threatening, so. That was one of the most pitiful showings I've ever seen from an X-Boss. It's Ground Scaravich. He's not very threatening. Rainy Turtleoid, on the other hand. Yeah, he's okay, too. We'll see in a second, but... I could just stay down here and be more safe, but... Alright, so now he's weak to Ice Burst. Stop it. I was kind of hoping he'd take damage from the X-Buster shot here, but he won't, so... Also, we won't have enough Ice Burst if I don't save this last one, so... I might just let him go and then use the last Ice Burst later. Yeah. Wow. It's quite a jump. Okay, well, this works. Never mind, it doesn't work. Stop it. And we can let him halfway T-pose into the afterlife. Yeah. Doesn't take enough to kill him with his weakness. Thought they stopped doing that. Evidently, they did not. Who's left? Because Infinity Maginian's down there. That was Rainy Turtleoid. Shield Sheldon. I'm gonna go heal. It's free healing. I might as well, you know. Because I might, if I'm stupid and I just be aggressive as all hell and get damaged a lot in Shield Sheldons, I won't be able to heal the full. I don't think that matters, though, because I think you get a full heal when you go through... There's a portal that shows up once you've beaten all 8 Mavericks, so... I think you can get a full heal at that point. It does not fix your life recover, though, so again, don't use that life recover. You got to be very stingy with it. Don't use it unless you're absolutely sure. As for Shield Sheldon, he's weak to the only thing that's left, the Metal Anchor, so... He's only weak to it when he's open, though, so, yeah. Alright, he's probably gonna, yeah, do that now. But you can knock him out of it with a Metal Anchor, so. I should have shot a couple buster shots at him first. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Pew! Him being weak to an anchor. Is it because she's a shellfish and anchor means boat? I mean, these weaknesses. You know, and yeah, honestly, I could see it if that's the case. I think, at the very least, I think the weaknesses, for the most part, are pretty well thought through. But it's because, like, I don't remember. I don't think... Do dragonflies eat scarab beetles? Because I feel like that would make sense if they did, because then that's why Ground Scaravich is weak to the Yamara option. Like, the boss that goes vertical to you and is a metal shark would be weak to the thing that rusts him, water. You know, so there's some thought going into some of these, at least. It's not like weird things going on, or like easy things. Like, well, I mean, there is an easy thing. I mean, Blizzard Wolfang's weak to the magma blade. He's weak to fire because he's ice. That's easy, but the rest of them, some of the powers in this game are a little unorthodox, so they have to be a little creative, I think. Alright, home stretch. I don't know why they're giving us Nightmare Souls now. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but whatever, I'll take them. Especially since I can jump her up to get most of them anyway. There we go. Yeah, just barely. Okay, well, I'm not going to get that one before you leave here, so... Sir, you don't mind if I grab these, do you? He's like, no, they're not mine anyway. I don't know why the nightmares are here, honestly. I feel like after beating the Nightmare Mother, shouldn't they just all be gone? I guess maybe Sigma repurposed a few of them because he's a Zambi. You're kidding. This teeny tiny one. Alright, I'm just gonna... I don't think I'm gonna get that before I go. I'm just gonna leave, fellas. I don't know how you feel about that. I'm just gonna leave. The Phoenix is weak to smacking it with a rock. Well, it is a fire flying type. So. Maybe he should have equipped heavy duty boots. Oh, God. Alright, well, we have our final checkpoint in this room. Let's feel it out the first time. The first fight with Sigma, the first phase is X4 difficulty. The second phase is legitimately challenging, but the first phase, well, he's a zombie, so what do you want from him? So I love one-shotting Charizard with Rock Throw. How'd you know? I just wish there were some rock moves that were more accurate, honestly. Like, that's why I use Power Gem so much once it shows up, because, like, you don't see very often an 100% accurate rock type move, you know. So you look like you just rolled out of bed, Sigma. I mean, technically that's true. Maybe this time I'll get you a coffin. to lock you inside. Alright. Excuse me. Let's see what you got. Ooh, okay. Stop that. Oh my god. But yeah, he's literally a shambling corpse. He'll just slowly walk at you, occasionally shoot bullets, and occasionally have electric sparks to shoot at you, because apparently he's still salty about the electric spark killing him in X1. This is the most threatening thing he does right here, because I can't, with Ultimate Buster, I can't get through that wall. So, if you just shoot it regularly, you can get through it, but I don't have the regular pellets, so. You don't seem to complete. Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 complete, but this game has some translation issues, for certain. Another point in the X6 tweaks' favor, by the way, and again, like I said, the gate fight, they remove his immunity to the X-Buster. I don't really like that, but the translation on the X6 tweaks hack is really good, because the game was completely retranslated by a dedicated team of fans. They did a much better job, trust me. I mean, the bar is in the floor at this point with the translation in this game, but they did a much better job. And also, the text is more high-res as well. It looks a lot more high quality, so. Literally despise how overrated Charizard is. Kill him with Rock Throw out of spite. He's so overrated that he was one of the only starters besides the regular starters that were in Gen 8, and then you can just use Stealth Rock on Leon's team and destroy it in, like, very little effort. I'm glad I didn't play Gen 8. I would have had, you know, I would have had as much to say about it and have been as bored as I was in Violet. So, I can use Bellossom in Gen 2. That's what I'm saying. I don't need to use her in Gen 8. I could use her in Gen 2. Yeah, proper grammar, that'll do. For now. Till he starts speaking in Leet Haxor, because he's dying like a maniac. Alright, listen, Sigma, you can't say that. There's kids here. What is he talking about? That's a good question. Apparently, that's the only thing left in his head, so that's fine. Let's just take his head off. You know what they say about zombies? In every zombie movie, they tell you, aim for the head. Unfortunately for us, Sigma has accounted for that by making his head invulnerable to my bullets. Most of his head, anyway. Not all of it, but you'll see. That will to complete, yeah. Okay. Well, his vulnerable point is not currently available, so also the music here is really good. I'll just let it play for a sec. Ooh, I love that synthetic guitar riff they got going. And it's a MIDI guitar, but it's still really good. So, aim for the head unless you play Dead Space. Yeah, then aim for the limbs. Not like much was in there to start with. That's fair. It's always the giant body with him. I think they even poked fun at it once or twice. I think they did. I think you're right, honestly. But yeah, he's basically repurposing the giant body he had in X5 in this fight. At least that's always been my understanding. So, what do you think Gen 10's generational gimmick is going to be? Well, they did silly hats in Gen 9. They made them gigantic in Gen 8. They used just crystals for moves in Gen 7, and they made them mega in Gen 6. I would say that they've been devolving, but that's not really true. It's probably going to be some sort of like a form change again, kind of like, because in 6 and 8, like if it goes even generations, they have a form change. Odd generations, they have some other gimmick that doesn't change forms. If they follow the pattern in Gen 10, it'll be some other kind of form change. Probably not like Dynamax or Mega Evolution, because both of those are really busted, but this one might be equally busted. It just kind of depends. I don't know. I won't be playing it, but either way. So, Sigma's weak to the ground dash, but before we can even get there, we have to open his big fat mouth, and he shoots slimes out before we can do that, including this slime with a spike on the bottom of it. The spike does not... Okay, there, he opened his mouth. Now we can damage him. Let me get the ground dash out, actually. There we go. Oh, yep, the sound effect was off. Stop that. That doesn't destroy the laser, by the way. It looks like it destroys the laser, but it'll stop him from doing it, so... As you can see. But, yeah. I'm still going to be stingy with my life recover, though. I don't want to use it this time. And we've got 12 more of those to use, so... I guess we'll just keep this up. Eventually, he'll stop using the lasers so much, though, and he'll start using his final move, which is Inferno. And Inferno is actually preferable to all of this, quite honestly. Because it's very easy to work around Inferno. You just use Jumper, you jump when he shoots the Inferno out, and then you blast him in the face, and then the Inferno... It always goes either on the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen, so... Whoops. Stop that. I should probably take the opportunity, though, while he's doing that to, like, actually damage him a couple of times with the X-Buster. So, I could also probably use the guard shell here, because those guys are shooting little projectiles at me. Yeah, it's not too bad. There's a lot of bullet spam going on, but it's mostly manageable, so... He also destroys his own guys with this one, so... Yeah. I don't think the ground dash would have hit him there if I had tried it, so... Ow. Can I stay here? No. Okay. I feel like Pokemon might be out of steam in terms of gimmicks. Really can't think of what else they do. Didn't think we'd ever see type changes, but we got terrestrialization, so I mean, yeah. And I don't know. Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Gen 10, you become the Pokemon. Oh, wait, that's Mystery Dungeon. Yeah. Yeah, they already used that gimmick, unfortunately. All right, I'm going to go turn the lights on in my room because it is now officially, like, actually dark out, and I don't want this to, like, wreck my eyes tonight. So, hold on. Alright, light is on. Just saying, they could try making a game with all the Pokemon again, like some World Tournament game. I think, honestly, I think a Pokemon game where you can go, like, having a World Tournament where there's multiple regions that you could explore, I think that would be really popular with a lot of people, but I feel like that's what a lot of people say, and then if we were to get that with current Game Freak, I don't know if I'd trust them with it, you know, so... They won't. They refuse to make games with the time that they used to get because the games are one of the biggest things that pushes the rest of the merch. Yeah, it isn't necessarily their biggest sellers. A lot of the other merch is really big selling-wise, but it primes people to buy the other merch when the new games come out, so that's why they do that. But I mean, and you're just saying, so like they could do that in theory. It might be better than what they come up with. I guess we'll see what they do. Like I said, I'm not going to play it anyway, so I don't care. They can do what they want at this point. I'm very well tapped out, Pokemon-wise. Like I said when we finish Violet, if we're going to play another Pokemon game after this, which we are, I have a couple more, like 4 more planned to play. We're going to go backwards in time, so... Bet you Sigma wishes he can go backwards in time, so he doesn't just... slowly walk towards me. It would be more interesting if there was a wall behind me and I couldn't, like... Not a wall, like I couldn't wall jump off the wall, so... You think he'll get here before I kill him? Nope. I literally stood still. Oh, that's funny. Doesn't even need a big story, just want to have a good battle system with all the Pokemon that isn't Pokemon Showdown. Consider it a huge battle facility. I think a game similar to, like, Battle Revolution would be interesting, or Stadium would be interesting to make again, honestly. Like, it doesn't even have to be Coliseum or XD, because that was a special circumstance, and they had Genius Sonority working on that. Although, Genius Sonority did work on Battle Revolution, but, like, if they did something like that, I think that would be kind of interesting, so. I have full Yamars now, so let's try the Yamars on these things. As long as I don't make, like, contact with them, it should be okay. Because I should be able to just blast them like a crazy person. No, I went a little too slow there. Yeah, I can get this platform guy out of the way a little bit faster this way. Yeah, I'm starting to see the appeal of the guard shell, though, quite honestly. Wait for it. Too late again. I'm gonna run out of Yamars pretty soon. That's unfortunate, but we'll use the guard shell when that happens. So. Oh, that's what that does. Okay. Well, that's one way of doing it. Oh, can you destroy that guy if you get out of my way? Oh, I see the problem here. Wait. Oh, I went too early. You can wait till the sound effect ends there, and then like, if you go when the sound effect ends, you can actually do that a little bit easier. So. Yeah, it's like what I was thinking basically was I could destroy that guy when he morphs like that, but apparently not, so maybe he had less HP when he morphs. X, get out of there. I'm going to pull the guard shell out, actually. The problem is that weapon swapping here is going to be a little bit of a problem just because there's a lot of weapon swapping that's happening here, so... No, I need to cure you of your vodka addiction, Sigma. You're not allowed to have any more vodka. I'm putting it back in the wine cooler. Stop it. Alright, well. Oops. I got rid of my shell. Ow. Stadium, yes, that's a good one. Him being weak to being beamed with a rock is just a funny thing. You got the Xenomorph mouthpiece in there. That's his only weak point, and it's weak to being hit by a rock. Maybe they should have done that in Aliens. Don't even worry about the bullets. Just throw rocks at it. But yeah, that's the gist of the fight, basically. I just need to get him to a point where he's not, like, just being obnoxious, which is going to be really difficult, but, you know. Bonk. No! Like, just the big bonk sound effect, yeah. Yeah, that's true. They couldn't in Aliens. You know, you're right about that, because it was like they were on a facility, right? They were on a space facility, and there was like nothing there except the technology. I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. Oh, okay. Stop that. The tongue just busts through your chest. Yeah, they don't really reveal the tongue until like Sigma's revealing his very handily here, like. They don't really do that when they're xenomorphs. So. Maybe make your chest out of rock. Just like it hits it and it just explodes. It's like getting ready to use its tongue to put the babies in you. It just hits the rock wall on your chest like, oh. I think this game's making me delirious just a little bit. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell, but... Oh god. Okay. Get out of my freaking way. Okay, so you can kind of go when you hear the sound effect go away. I only say kind of because, like... Okay, there. I did do that part early. Also, the Zero thing that we did before when we fought this guy with Zero, where he's weak to, or not weak to, but he's not immune to the guard shell. I don't think that works with X because you can't swing the Z-Saber and have the guard shell out at the same time. So this one's actually tough. Like, this one actually is legitimately difficult. So I might be at this one for a little bit. That's okay, though. I'll take a little difficulty after this and the tedium of fighting Hymax and Gate. And may remember, when we fought him in X5, he was difficult, so we fought him with X in that one. I'm just spamming at this point. Is it the nightmare stuff or the residual drag from Violet combining with all the self-imposed misery of the challenge? Oh, I can't wait for that. I don't know what the explanation is there. It's probably a little A, a little B, honestly, but I can't wait for this to be over. Oh. Actually, honestly, did I... Well, no, I didn't really use the jumper at all in this previous... Well, I did a little bit because I space jumped up when we were in the boss rush, but... Excuse me. Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe the double barrier would have been better for this part, but no, it really wouldn't, because then this section would have been hell, so Got one hit off, basically. I'm trying to prioritize taking out this guy, but then I'm going to let these guys go too far, and that's not good either. Thank you, Sigma. Okay, well, I got him. Did you win? Yeah. What did it cost? Everything. About 3 of my hit points, actually. I guess I could just, like, move slightly back and forth so I don't get hit by the slow-moving projectiles, huh? Whew, that was a little close. I don't know, I'm feeling pretty good about this attempt so far, though. Maybe I shouldn't, because, you know, it hasn't been going the best so far, but... That guy takes 4 buster shots to kill? Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. See, here's the tricky part, right? If I use Life Recover and E-Tank now, I will not get access to them again for the remainder of the fight, and I'm pretty sure I'm dead right now, because I don't think I can get out of this before my frames go away. Oh, I could. Okay. Well, if I dodged a little better, I could have gotten back into the fight, but that's okay. But yeah, this game's definitely making me delirious, and I, like I said, will be glad when it's over. It's just going to take, like... I basically need to get better at dodging the vodka lasers. Once I can dodge the vodka lasers, I think we'll be okay. So, maybe I need to jump, actually, because the laser starts out on the floor. So, like, instead of just dashing across the floor and getting hit by the bottom of it, I think I need to, like, dash jump, actually. Let's not just take the hits here, X. We gotta actually get to the second phase with a reasonable amount of HP, so I don't have to use my E-Tanks. But once we can get him to Inferno phase, it should be easier. Should being the key word, but... Because he has a tendency, once you get him to start using Inferno, he uses it a lot more once he gets below 50%. He has a tendency to use it a lot, which means every Inferno that he uses, it's a very quick attack. It takes like 3 seconds to resolve. Every one of those is another shot on his mouth. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do. All right, we'll start with you. I'll go over here. There might be more room over here, actually. I'm putting myself between a rock and a hard place here if I'm going over there. Here, I can actually see what's going on a little better. Okay. And just move around as I go. But we'll run out of guard shells eventually, so... Take the hit. Get out of here! Yeah, okay, it is. Dash jump is definitely the answer there. I need to do better than that. But dash jump is definitely the answer, because then we get out of there before the hitbox starts, so... Oops. Got up a little too early. That's okay. Okay, I'm really getting sick of that guy. I need something to get rid of that guy, like, instantly, you know? Just, like, vape, because he has way too much health. I just need something that'll vaporize him just immediately. Just, I don't know if... I don't think the slimes would have any specific weaknesses now that I think about it. But, like, he really needs to get out of here. Because he's making it a lot harder to dodge the vodka lasers when I've got that to deal with, so... We had the saber to work with Zero, though, so we could just destroy that guy really quickly, but... We don't... Well, we do have the saber in this case, but if I have my special weapons out, I can't be using the saber, so... Okay, next phase. Sorry, I've run out of color commentary at this point. It'll just be me reacting to the fight from now on until we get to the ending, so we can have our finale, our actual finale. I can finish this project once and for all and move on to something else. Alright, I'm just going to focus on you, because I really don't fear the other ones, so... Alright, staying here. Oh, well. Okay. Now I'm just being stupid. Yeah, I'm going to focus on this guy if I can. Not this guy, but this guy if I can. Try to, anyway. Gotta get these guys out of the way first. Gonna die again. It's okay, though. Nah, I was too far away for that one. Yeah. Agreed. It's Sigma, and this is kind of just... Yeah... I mean, it's like, the slimes are just distractions, but they're really annoying distractions, and you can't damage him at all unless he's shooting half the screen at you. So, sometimes more than half the screen with those giant lasers, which, I mean, I guess it makes it difficult, but, like, it's really like, how much patience do you have? Like I said before, this game has some of a skill check to it. A lot of it is patience. Like, you really need to be as patient as possible, or else you won't get through it. You know what I might try to do, though? I might try to stand on top of the spike guy, like on his platform, because that'll force him to start going to the top of the screen rather than the bottom. It won't fully get rid of him, but it will, like, prevent him from falling on me while I'm randomly running around trying to get rid of all the other slimes. So maybe I'll try that. Let's see. Guard shell. Let's get the guard shell out. I'm gonna try the ray arrow actually first before I do anything else. What the hell was that all? I just took like 6 million damage. Where did that come from? You know, I know what it was. I got squished. I'm gonna get squished again. Okay, this is a wash, like 130% a wash. Yeah, especially if I dodge too early like that, so. I'm just gonna let that one go. Just gonna let that one go by. I got squished, like, immediately, so that's not gonna go. That's not gonna gel, you know? Be honest with you, though, folks, the temptation to make a save state and try using my life recovery is there, in the back of my head, currently. It would probably make the challenge less legitimate if I did that, though, so... I am not yet out of fight. I'm just saying, it's there. It is a new resistance that I will have to fight for the remainder of the stream. I mean, we're not at the point yet where I'm like, okay, it's getting close to 3 hours. Let's just get this over with, you know? I think it's doable. I just think I'm being super stingy with my E-Tank and life recovery, because if I am not stingy with them, I will have to redo the entire boss rush to get back here. So that would be when the save state would come out. It's like, okay, no, I'm pretty sure I need to do this just for safety. And then, you know, and then it's a problem. Of course, that just means what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up not using them at all. It's like elixirs at the end of an RPG, you know? You're like, oh, okay, well, I could be using this, or I could not. Oh, he's gone. Wait, hang on, that's different. Why is he gone? Okay, that's the gist right there. Ow. Damn it, and my jump didn't come out that time either. Okay, I got it now, I think. That's the rhythm right there. I mean, okay, I guess if you don't want me to stand on you. Fellas, can you just... Okay, there we go. So if you stand on him, it gets rid of him? Interesting. I shouldn't have done that. Messed the timing up for myself. Okay, there we go. I didn't know that about this guy, where if you just stand on him, he disappears after... Oh, Inferno Phase. Inferno Phase now? Hold on. Wait, hang on. You started too early. I should have used the Life Recover then, because I was starting to get the timing down. Let's get the timing down a little bit more, actually, before we start thinking about using our E-Tanks and stuff, because now that I know that I can stand on that guy and get him to go away... Although I don't know... Sometimes he just didn't go away, so I don't know if that's just a fluke or what, but... I'm learning things that I didn't know about this fight, so that at least is good. That's the nice thing, honestly, though. Like, even replaying a game like this that I don't particularly enjoy, I do learn new things every time I play these games for the stream, and especially if it's a game where I've played it previously. Not for the stream, but just in my lifetime. I've played it before. I'm just going to take the hit, it's fine. So, like, if I come back to a game where it's like, oh, I've played this before, I just want to play it for the stream because I think it's kind of fun. I usually learn at least one new thing about the game that I did not know beforehand just from messing around as much as I do. So that part at least is nice. So now if I want to stand on that guy, but there's a bunch of slimes that are all over the place, how do I get rid of the slimes while still standing on that guy? Do I use the magma blade maybe? I could see that being useful. Let's try that. Hold on. I have a thought. My brain is maybe working. I don't actually know. Well, that part isn't working, but... Okay. No, the magma blade doesn't seem particularly effective against these guys. Get out of my way. I'm trying to do something fun. It's not working. Okay, well, it got rid of the platform at least, so... I was smooshed. I'll just wait. Yeah, see, like that one I can only get two, whatchamacallits off. Did I really just get squished? God, what a mess. Yeah, I might not be able to get a shot off here. Oh god. Okay. I jumped too early. The sound effect was not yet over, and I still jumped. That's the problem. So I need to actually wait for the sound effect to resolve, then jump. Like, because the sound effect of the laser, when it stops, that means that the hitbox is about to go away. I need to be very specifically timing-wise about. I need to be very specific timing-wise about it, because if I'm not, it won't go. But like, you know. So. Ow. Too early. You just gonna do that for a little while, or what? Just gonna go through it, it's fine. At this point, he's just being annoying. Take a drink real quick. Trying to think back. I know we had this much trouble in the X5 playthrough. And I mean, I know why I'm having trouble in this one, obviously. It's because I have no armor. Even with the shock buffer, there's only so much you can do. But yeah, I think we just need to get him back in Inferno phase. And like when he gets to Inferno phase, I need to be ready for it, you know? So that's what we will try to do. Let me try Metal Anchor on these guys. I am out of ideas otherwise. You know, that actually, with it bouncing around like that, that actually might be pretty good. Because it will bounce around and do a whole bunch of hits, so. Ow. It's a little too late. I mean, I'm not going to have them forever, the metal anchors, that is, but I'll have them for a little while. Yeah, see that? That's what I mean right there. Get out of my way. If I do it when, whatchamacallit, the sound effect ends, well, if I don't jump into his mouth like an idiot, then I can, in fact, get away with that without getting damaged, so. Well, one left. Make it count. Maybe no guard shell. Alright, that was my own fault. I definitely turned on those guys. So. And say, X, get down. Mr. President, get down! A joke that I only just realized makes more sense because there's a person in my chat with a Russian username that says Barack Obama. How do these things happen? Yeah, I thought I was too close to his cleft chin. I heard the Crimson Chin theme there as I jumped to my death. That's okay. I'm okay with all of this. This will take a while, and that's fine. We made it through all the other stuff, and it's literally just this. Like I said, if it gets to the point where it's like, okay, it's been 3 hours, let's just get this over with, I will just be like, okay, I'm using the life tanks and all that stuff, so. Stop, you just heard that in your head? Yeah, sorry, but yeah, that's what came up in my head, too, so. Here comes the Crimson Chin. Yeah, that. That was exactly what I heard. Okay. Now to the hard part. Okay, I'm full health. That's not bad. I mean, it's only one more hit than I would normally have at this point, but I'll take it. Excuse me. You know what else I could do, though, is I could, like, stand in the corner over here and, like, duck down and just shoot. You know, actually, it might be better to put the guard shell up in this case. Oops. Oh, no, not like that, X. Put the guard shell up in front of you. Like, stand here and just duck. Because the spike guy won't hit me from here. Oh, look at that. Well, now. I seem to have found something. Something that might be interesting. A little cheesy, maybe, but interesting. The spike guy can't hit me here. I can stand here with a bulletproof shield for a while, anyway, until I shoot too many of these shots. And look at that, his vodka lasers can't hit me over here either. So, yeah. That was my bad. That's okay. That's too early. Huh. Know where you heard that terminal montage use Sigma's laugh for freaking Mega Tyranitar? I could see it, honestly. This is working, like, way better than I thought it was going to. Also, there's a spike. Well, it was right over my... hello? Get me out of here! It's this stupid wall thing. Get out of... See what I mean? He smushes you against stuff. That was working very well, though. I should do that and just, like, hope to God that the spike wall guy goes away, because... And I don't even think I have to duck there. Well, maybe I do with the Crimson Chin, but... Like, when he starts shooting the stuff, his hitbox on his face probably extends out, but... We can test that this time, just to see. If I don't have to stand, or crouch there when it's happening, I can probably stand up there. And that'll give me more options, because then I can do more than just kind of shoot my buster and do that. I can use, like, the magma blade, or I can use something else to try to damage the spike. I've heard somebody say that that shot that he's doing there is, like, next to impossible to dodge. The one where he just fires it from his mouth and it's really quick. And granted, it is really quick. I'm going to give them that one. You just dodge when he flings his head forward, that's it. Maybe I'm just used to Dark Souls parrying, though, like, After a while, the frame data on Dark Souls, the parry frames is only 8 frames. There's like the parry window is only 8 frames in Dark Souls, and I think it's like 7 in Dark Souls 2. So there's there's a lot of room for error to be had there, as you can probably tell. But like, I don't know. It's just wait till he flings his head forward. You know, like that's it. Yeah, I can stand up. Okay, I have a lot of options then, a lot more than I thought anyway. Get out of my way! Okay. I can just stay here and stand up, so I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna hang here, fellas. Okay, this I do need to crouch for, though, probably. No. No. Well, I tried. Okay, that's fine. What did I hit? I didn't hit him. Okay. So far, so good. I mean, I'm taking contact damage, obviously, so it's not as good as it could be, but... I got a couple shots off on that guy, that's good. Okay, that gets rid of that. Much better. Now I can walk around freely. Okay, Inferno phase. This is not what I want to be doing in Inferno phase, but this is working, so I'll take it. Wouldn't be able to jump that high if it wasn't for Jumper, though. Like, I wouldn't have been able to avoid that if it wasn't for Jumper, even, so... Let's not lose it all now. After, okay. After all the good I've done. You know, I'm gonna use my life recover now, actually. Yeah, I think it's time to use the life recover. I think we don't have much of a choice at this point. Okay, back to this. Okay. There. And that's it. So the idea behind Inferno phase, sorry about all the explosions in the background, is that you can jump, shoot him, basically you can jump and shoot him while his mouth is open. The ball will travel on the top of the screen, and then you can crouch and go under it. But I guess it's just the same to let it go down towards this bottom of the screen, jump over that, then just turn and shoot him. I mean, whatever works, right? So it worked this time, and we have a full E-tank to take back with us, so... I don't know that it's useless this time, Sigma. This feels final, like we're never coming back to this series. I considered playing Maverick Hunter X, but I said, yeah, you know what? I think this is enough, honestly. Maybe that would have been a more productive use of my time, honestly, than doing this, is playing Maverick Hunter X, because I actually enjoy that game. Well, we're already here, so I guess we'll just roll with it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Just go back to the grave where you belong. I would have said don't lose your head, Sigma, but you lost that a long time ago. Mission accomplished. No time to waste on you. Yeah, X said it. And we don't have any more time to waste on Sigma, so bye, Sigma. Alright, we're done. We have beaten the challenge successfully. There were some hills. There were some troughs. There were definitely some valleys, but you know. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think he's coming back, X. I'm pretty sure he's gone. Well, then again, he used technology to repair things that were gone. I don't know that technology is gone yet, but maybe. Yeah, I guess, but I'm pretty sure in this particular case, Aelia would have been fine with Gate being gone. She didn't really, I mean, I guess she made a couple of comments over the course of the game, but I think she was pretty okay with him just not being around anymore. So, What should we do? Bury him. Bury him as far into the earth as you possibly can, because let's not like let him come back and, actually do anything. He did have technology that let him resurrect the dead. How do we know he doesn't have a contingency in there to return? Bury him. That's what you should do. But I guess Aelia is going to try to work on him. And nothing will ever amount from this. Gate is literally forgotten by the time the next game comes around, and you never hear from him again. So I don't know what she did, but it wasn't good enough, evidently. So, yeah, Pro's like nuclear waste. Just shoot him off into space. Send him to the sun. We know he can't come back from there. Douglas, you're normally yellow in the dialogue boxes. Why were you blue there? Oh, right, because this game had no testing whatsoever. It's probably not true. It probably did have testing, but how many of them were actually paying attention to this? When they had 10 months of development? So. No, I mean, you're right about that. There is still quite a lot for us to do in the X series. Not the X games themselves, but the Zero games, and there's 2 ZX games. I don't know how those play into the timeline here, but I guess we'll find out. So. Yes, the humans race. My favorite triathlon to watch. Oh, this game's translation is a hoot sometimes, honestly. Like, I don't even... It's from Japan, though. Like, honestly, if they're working on a game that has 10 months of development, do you really think they give a flying you-know-what about whether the proper words are used there? I don't think so. I'm not justifying it, That's Mega Man X6. That's the game, everybody. I'm not clapping for it. I'm clapping ironically because the game is over with. I'm clapping in celebration because I don't have to do that challenge again. But we did beat it. And this is the second time we beat it. The first time we beat it on Extreme mode with Zero, which honestly Zero kind of bumps the difficulty down 1 level from whatever you did. So it was almost like playing the game on normal. X makes it more difficult, and Unarmored X makes it more difficult still, but the shock buffer exists, so that drops the damage that you take. There's a bunch of other options that you can use. Granted, some of them are required. Jumper, in order for Unarmored X to do stuff. And in order to even make it through the stages in the final areas, you have to do some stupid tech with Magma Blade and Ground Dash to basically hover across a gap like you're in X4 and the leg armor is from X4 there. But... the gist of it, thank you, Firework. Can you not? My fucking neighbors, man. I hate these goddamn assholes. Sorry. Anyway, sorry about the fireworks. Some people have no respect. I mean, I knew that about them already. I need to stop talking. They're gonna find these videos and they're gonna kill me. Anyway, yeah. Do I think that this is an impossible thing for people to do? No, I don't think so. I mean, this is being used to de-rust from me not playing action games quite a lot. And I think by the end of all of this, do I think I'm better at the action process? I don't know necessarily. I think I would think I'm better than I was at the outset of this. I don't know necessarily if I'm fully de-rusted at this point, but I feel better about the commentary, especially when it comes to action games, because that's... The problem is when I take a break from commentary, a lot of the time, with the action games specifically, the commentary suffers because I have to reprogram my brain to be able to just chat while doing all of the action-y stuff that normally I would just... When I'm playing by myself, I don't talk to myself normally. I'm literally just sitting there and I can concentrate because there's no distraction. Unless I'm sitting with friends or family or whatever in the same room and then there's distraction, but that's fine because that's a fun time. And this is a fun time, but it definitely... I feel like in some ways the commentary suffers when I haven't played in a while action games. Like if I play a really long RPG or if it's like this where I've taken a break, I feel like the commentary sometimes suffers. And by the end of this project, I feel better about the commentary. I feel like I'm doing better than I was doing at the very beginning of this, so. Escorting him with the water gun power and winning. Yeah, Sigma, after somehow forming a body from the sun's energy, escorting with water gun power and winning. It's just how it goes. Dang, Zero got that extra battery compartment back there. It's something. I feel like they could have, because I feel like someone's gonna stare at that. It is the 12th. Yes, I know it is the 12th. For what it's worth, my neighbors have been known to blow off fireworks as late as Labor Day. I guess I can, give them some credit. At least they're not blowing them off until it gets cold. But holy hell, is this what you spent your whole paycheck on? Like, how do you buy food? The finale song is IDEA, by the way, by Rost. Very good song. Listen to it without me talking over it. It's a good song. It's a bop. This game's music, at the very least, is really good. So, took 6 hours of game time to clear it. Zero is a D rank hunter. Don't tell him I said that. That's just what Alias says. Must not be paying attention. This probably isn't the first time you learned that X6 had an ending theme. It's one of those games where it's like, does it? I don't remember. It's a good song, though. I like it. So, have a friend who has neighbors who set off fireworks year-round. Yeah. I need to get out of this place. I'm going, you know what I'm doing? I'm going back to the mountains. It was simpler up there. There were moose and mountain lions that I did not meet. The only fuzzy animal that I saw on my entire trip were a few deer and a fox. But I'm going back to the mountains. It was simpler up there. Anyway, for beating the game, you get a cheat code. I think this one unlocks the ultimate armor, if I remember correctly, for X. But if you beat the game as Zero, you can get a cheat code that unlocks his black armor suit, which not only looks very cool, it also, I think, gives him like shock buffer and a couple of other parts just by default. So, yeah, this unlocks ultimate armor if you want to just blitz through the game with that. Although, I mean, it's even with ultimate armor, the game's not necessarily a cakewalk sometimes, because sometimes you've just got like getting squished or gravity or bottomless pits or spikes. The ultimate armor is not going to save you from that. So there's no catharsis with X6. That's the thing, right? Is that I keep coming back to this game because it's like a train wreck. It's really, really awful, but I just can't look away from it. At this point, I am done looking at the train wreck, though. I have seen the train wreck at its worst, and I'm ready to rebuild after the train wreck, so. I always had mixed feelings for Black Armor Zero. Can't say why, though. It just is, yeah. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know, I mean, I like the orange, you know what I mean? How many heroes wear orange, you know? So, like, black is... Everybody wears black, like, in some part of their outfit. But how many heroes really wear orange? That's, like, a fairly... I think, a fairly unique color. Like, a lot of heroes also wear, like, browns and stuff like that because their armor's made of leather or whatever. But, you know, so... Cheat code as a reward for winning that's actually based. Yeah, do we ever remember when cheat codes were a thing? I remember, God, so long ago where I would just... That was like one of my first things that I did on the internet was look up cheat codes for... What did I look up for? I don't remember what I looked up cheat codes for, honestly. But I definitely, like, I remember, like, 2001, 2002, I had used the internet a little bit before that because we took computer classes in elementary school, but, like, the first time I really used the internet for, like, actual browsing rather than, like, computer class stuff or video games was, like, yeah, probably 2001, 2002. We didn't really have a computer in the house before that point, so it was really hard to just do anything outside of school with that. But, I mean... Hey, I'm happy about my computer classes anyway in school because they introduced me, as I said many times, well, I haven't said this part, but that's where it came from. The best educational game of all time was introduced to me from my elementary school computer class. And when we got a computer at home, well, I wasn't in elementary school anymore, but you best believe I asked for that game for my birthday, and we got it in its old Windows 95 casing. And it still worked. Oh, those were the days. I need to figure out how to get that game working. I've tried using things like DOSBox on it, and it just doesn't work with DOSBox. But you need to have like a DOS... It's a DOS program, so I need to do something with DOS in order to get it to work, and I have no idea. I'm going to have to figure that part out, though, because... And I mean, honestly, I could probably just, like... download the software, because I think it's available for free now from the website, because, I mean, actually, I think the website's defunct now, but whatever. I have the program, basically, because I downloaded it at one point. I have the software. And I could like buy an external disk drive and then just install the software on the external disk drive and pretend like I have the disk itself to stick in the disk drive. Maybe I need to like get on that because I don't know how much longer external disk drives will actually be a thing before they just get discontinued. But yeah, anyway. Sonic codes, the Konami codes burn into your soul. A few for Pokemon. Yeah, honestly, probably Pokemon was the one that I looked up cheat codes for the first time. That was probably when I first got introduced to a Game Shark, actually. So, avoided computers till middle school. It's why you hate the people hide behind. It's just my generation that's bad with computers. You grew up with them. Yeah, not really. Depends on how rich you were. I only got to use them in school until I was 10. Can do that. There you go. After all, you even have a Windows 9X PC with the drive. Oh, okay. I might have to pick your brain on that one, Chris, because I do want to play the best educational game of all time for the stream at some point, and I definitely think I'm not tech savvy enough to do it on my own. So I might pick your brain on that one a little bit, Chris, at some point. We'll have to see. Hope you don't mind, but being 11 or so before using a computer isn't growing up with one. You're lazy and stubborn. Stop hiding behind an excuse. Give it to him, Marie. Don't let him get away with that. Anyway, that's it. That's Mega Man X6 Extreme Mode with Unarmored X, the Stream Edition. We've finished it. It is over with. It no longer has to raise my blood pressure. Actually, I think that's just because I've been, like, the food at school has been okay, but not great. And what I mean by that is more salty than the stuff that I normally make. So, but it's fine. I'm only doing this for 3 weeks, this school summer job thing, so it'll be fine. At least lunch is provided, you know what I mean? That's nice, at least. And I don't think that comes out of my paycheck. I'll have to look at that, but I don't think it comes out. It's actually a pretty decent gig. They pay me time and a quarter from what I get during the year, and lunch is provided. I didn't think about the benefits of this. I mean, I don't have health care or anything like that, but we take the wins where we can get it, right? Anyway, that's it. I'm delirious. I need to get out of here before my brain shuts off for the night and I just fall asleep on the couch again. So, yeah, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you checking out the stream. I hope you enjoyed Mega Man X6 Extreme Mode with Unarmored X. There were some fun times. There were some challenging times. I think overall, like I said, I probably think a more productive use of my time would have been to play Maverick Hunter X, but it's done now. I don't have to worry about it hanging over my head anymore. I've said before to Marie a few times that I've thought about doing this project, and now it's done. So there you go. Yeah. So can be very fiery, passionate about most things, and near unfeeling, not a lot of in between. Just flip a switch, right? Yeah. But yeah, until I see you all for the next game, which is actually going to be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because as it turns out, doing this stuff during the week is probably not going to be kosher because I'm not going to have the battery life left in my body for it. We're going to do the next game tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's a game in a series that we've played for the channel before, but we'll be returning to it, and there is some interesting stuff in it that I'd like to show off that I don't think a lot of playthroughs on YouTube show off. At least they don't fully understand it anyway. So, yeah, until I see you next for either that or whatever else I see you for, wherever else on the internet I see you, I hope you take care and have a good one. Oh, and I'm going to post the schedule as well once this all gets edited out. And in the schedule, it's going to say, basically, while I'm doing the summer tutoring stuff, I'm just going to stream 2 nights a week. I'll just do it Saturdays and Sundays. So that way I have the battery life to actually do this stuff without being completely off. But you'll get all that information in a post soon. In the meantime, goodbye.